Highland.
I can put my light in so it ain't flashing. Like I said, man, them things need up here.
Go ahead.
Are we live? We're recording?
Yes.
Oh, look on my shirt. Look, I want to hit you on my hands. Alrighty. So, welcome. Episode number 1. Uno. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, aka Big Sean. AKA Hod. This is the pilot, straight off the jungle jet. Sneezing in my audio. What a way to start.
Cool been wilding all day. Drinking, sipping tequilas, I don't understand.
Yeah, we decided to do this one pretty late night. I don't know how it can go. We can probably get banned before we even start. But as you know, we've been vlogging, working on some material. We are out here in Dominican Republic. Beautiful island, city. Is it a city? Punta Cana. Punta Cana is one of your cities here. See.
It's a jungle.
Yeah, it's jungle. Beautiful island in Punta Cana. The idea and the concept behind this podcast, I don't know if I've shared this with you, is I call it living in Americas with an S, right? And I say S because I live in the U.S. and you live in Canada, which is North America, and I'm in the U.S. So I put that S on there. And I know James Brown's had that famous song, living in America. And for me, there are a lot of different things that have shaped my perspective, as coming from the islands, coming from Barbados, beautiful island Barbados. A lot of things have shaped my perspective, views, politics, sports, religion, fashion. Relationships. It's just countless different things.
Yeah.
And as I encounter different things in different conversations, one of my goals is to just put it on camera. Obviously, we'll have you as one of my biggest and most exciting co-hosts. I know you like to turn up, and again, I definitely gonna be on my tippy toes with my editing skills with this guy. So
You get canceled early.
So so again, we're in Punta Cana, but you flew into Atlanta. How was the travel?
Well, there's some interesting connections they had there, but
You arrived in Miami or
Miami through Charlotte.
Yeah.
Then to Atlanta. But I had to do a little finessing in between there. Don't know if it was legal, but
yeah, you had like a big 24-hour layover.
24-hour layover.
Got in super early, jump on that flight, despite people saying that can happen.
Could never happen, but
Made it to my state finals.
That's right.
To show me some support there. Didn't go according to plan. We lost some penalties, but it is what it is. We'll talk about that at some point in time too. But
all in all, made it, and
what?
Another 24 hours, hop another plane over here.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm burning the candles on both ends too, because even though that finals was in Atlanta, it's probably a good 2 hours out from where I actually live. So for you,
a lost city, no, that's for sure.
Yeah, you came straight in. You weren't. Obviously, I was on home. I went straight there. You came up to the game and then quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Back 2 hour back drive down to Atlanta. So because we were out in a city called Macon. But yeah. So we got a lot of Taradies in the background there, but
put the AC on or something.
But travel is something that I'm a big thing for me. In my old age, I think for us, being siblings, we ourselves have been exposed to travel from a young age, right?
Yeah, lucky enough.
Yeah, through our parents, through sports, and I got another good friend. I always have that conversation with him. We do share a lot of similarities, and I think my ability to travel from a young age, I didn't know it at the time, but I think it really shaped my perspective of the world. I think subconsciously it just planted a seed in me that the world was a bigger place outside that box, outside the island, and I
definitely open your mind.
Yeah,
for sure, not to be so close-minded to different aspects of what you would call quote-unquote island living.
Yeah. And that's why I say that whole concept of, and again, one thing is important is that, the podcast, or the intent of the podcast, is just bringing conversations, bringing perspective. It's not a, no way, shape, or form we bashing that island thinking, or even bashing it.
Some people though.
Yeah.
Some people go, hold it.
They ruffle a few feathers, right? But But even so, like not to bash there or bash even the US too as well. Nobody's perfect, but I think it's just analyzing, breaking down. Not an expert opinion, but a lot of things have shaped my life. Being here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, one of the things that, this is my second time being here, and I think we talked about it a little bit. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Dominican Republic, but customer service here, I think it's something that they prioritize to be has extreme. I think obviously you can really tell the value that they put in those tourist dollars.
Yeah, 100%. They want to keep you spending, that's for sure.
Yeah, coming from back home from my
Right near,
recent visits.
near one's go behind you. You bar yourself.
Like you're afraid to ask a question, I literally, like, no joke, right? I was in one of the malls home, and we wanted to buy a cup of coffee, and the lady that was working, she was watching the show on her phone. Boy, and the look on her face when I walk up
and
inquire about the prices there was like
disrupt her show.
I never seen that like that, So and I listen to the radio a lot on mornings, and that is a big talking point for a lot of people in terms of customer service and stuff like that. And and my mom, she was up here, I'll say a week ago, not up here, she was in Atlanta a week ago, and she commented on that, that quote unquote Southern hospitality. That's the thing that most people say versus up north in New York. A lot of people kind of just keep to themselves to keep it moving, but in Georgia, Atlanta, you find people are a little bit more cordial.
Yeah, a little warmer.
Yeah. So that was something that she pointed out to me, and it was interesting to see. What's next on the cards for you? I know we go back to Atlanta. After Atlanta, what you got next?
I'm still trying to work up some different little business deals there back on the island.
Yeah.
But there's some touring in between. They got a few games coming up.
Okay.
Actually missing one to be here, but I think it may have been canceled.
Okay.
So that made it work out nicely. So I get back, I think I got to play Guadalupe and Trinidad there on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then a month, maybe 3 weeks give or take, then I got to head back up to Canada, play another tournament.
Yeah.
Then that should land me in August.
Okay.
But before that, I think you should be done. We're gonna do some summer days down there.
And to put that in context, we talking about rugby. Now your rugby, refresh my memory. I know there's 7s and there's 11s. Is that correct?
7s and 15s.
7s and 15s.
There's 10s too, but
the tournaments that you can be playing in, what is that gonna be?
The most current ones will be 15s.
15s.
So I joined back up with the 15s as well. Where the whole 7s teams joined back up with the 15s.
Okay.
Saying as the coach of the 7s, take the mantle up. So we just follow suit.
And these international games, are these and I'm also followed obviously the football scene. Are these like qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers?
Yeah, these would be I think statistics. So you would get rankings. Rankings for these next couple. Maybe
are they considered friendly games or?
No, they won't be friendly.
Okay.
They'll be trying to get ranking, and then that would be a stepping stone towards the development for a qualifier.
So for me,
for the 15s.
So for me, the football landscape of things is you would kind of play friendly games, which could deal with your rankings, but your rankings don't necessarily qualify you. You would still end up in some form of regional tournament or something like that would set you up to qualify long term.
Well, our friendlies would be against North American teams, European teams, and then those would build us up to then when we have to compete against Caribbean, still North American, but not as far out. So like in our pools, we still have US, Canada, Mexico, and then once we go through those different pools, I think the one or two best from the north, and then we'll play the south, whoever it might be, Colombia, Uruguay, whoever's the best.
So you mentioned Guadalupe earlier. I know early in the year you guys had a tournament in Mexico.
Oh, that's 7s. Now we're talking 7s.
Okay. And so that would be different to the 15s. So will you be going to Guadalupe, or where's that game going to play?
I think Guadalupe's supposed to go to Barbados.
Okay.
If it does, transpire. But yeah, it would be in Barbados. We'll be heading to Trinidad. Trinidad would be the outside.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We actually got a heavy travel schedule coming up too as well. So we are Dominican Republic right now. When we get back, we actually do go to South Carolina. You're taking that trip with me. After South Carolina, what month is that? June. So this is May, then we got June. June, we actually go out to Cenas and I. We go to Egypt for 7 days. I don't know if I mentioned that to you. So that's gonna be an exciting one for me. And I wanna.
Right, some sand dunes.
I'm doing my vlogs, but I also want to pod
Yeah.
in all these different places. So we'll probably do another one in Carolina. We'll do one when we get back to Atlanta. But me and Cenas, we'll probably do one in Egypt as well. And that for me, is a huge cultural experience for me because I've had a gravitation towards Egyptian mythology for a couple of years now. I know just something I've always been.
Yeah, funny you said that. Me too. I got a lot of Egyptian type art.
Yeah.
Artifacts.
Artifacts.
So,
and for me, I have tattoos, you know, and it's funny, you know, even as brothers, you know, because we spend times apart, and when we kind of reconnect, there was so much similarities in our walks of life, right? You playing rugby for the country, you playing football for the country, you know, our different, you know, travels and schedule, you know, like we share a lot of. We definitely share a lot of similarities in that regard.
Yeah, the apples don't far to fall.
Yeah, not far for the tree. After Egypt, I have to go to California, which is on the West Coast here. I've never actually been to the West Coast in the US, so that's going to be an interesting trip for me. San Diego, more specifically. Then tight turnaround. I literally come back on San Diego, and we hop on a plane to Spain. So that's gonna be exciting. That's more football.
Yeah, big football coach.
Yeah, I do big tournament over there called the Dynasty Cup. I'll be coaching in that tournament, and I always stop in for a couple of days in Madrid and visit their academy. Even though I'm a Barcelona fan, the Madrid academy, I just always stop in and I always walk away with just a wealth of different knowledge.
Yeah,
you know, from there. So
yeah, that's for sure.
And then last but not least, Barbados. Crop overtime. Yeah, that's the final, the finale. You know, looking forward to that. You gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there.
The whole crew gonna be there. So I think last year crop over kind of picked back up a little bit. There was still some uncertainty, still a couple of things, and then
the pandemic thing.
Yeah. The what you call the protocols. There were still some protocols in place, and then they kind of went away sudden. So a lot of people weren't really quite prepared, but we were there. It was still, we still had a blast. We had a great time.
Yeah, a lot of people weren't prepared mentally and physically because as the route would have changed, you saw.
And physically, that new route. I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but I think they're going back to the original route.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That there were a lot of complaints. People were saying it took away from the, I guess, the financial aspect. For me, one of my biggest takeaways, because when I was down there last year, we traveled with a big group. I had some friends coming from France, some friends from the US, Switzerland. We had a big group down there. And one of the most disappointing things for me, and this was the child in me, was Bridgetown Market. I was talking about Bridgetown Market so much, and from what I remembered, and it's not on Spring Garden anymore. It was kind of tucked away, and I was a bit like I didn't. You know. So I don't know if that's something that they're going to change back in terms of having these stalls and stuff on Spring Garden, but that's just my 2 cents. That's something that I would.
Well, hopefully, you know, they always had the facilities and space to do it.
Yeah.
And definitely took away from the revenue, like the smaller vendor type deal, and it was more commercialized, I guess.
Yeah.
And everything was, you know, stuck into the entities themselves, the bands, but if it does go back, you'll get more cultural experience for, I guess, the visitors and
that'll
understand.
That'll be huge. But bring it back down there. We actually stayed in the Brighton area, and we did get to see the tail end of 4 Day Morning Jam.
Right.
But then we did set up on the side of the road and we watched the
bands pass. I remember you did tell me a story where a guy.
Yeah, I think he mistake
you for me.
Yeah, that was a very awkward interaction at first for him.
So it was some sort of beef.
Yeah, he was. I think he was. His intent was to, and I guess he got that relationship. We would joke and stuff like that, but.
Or like jokingly aggressive.
Yeah, jokingly aggressively, and for me, I don't know this guy, so just taking it aggressive, and I ain't matching it with full on aggression too. But I think when we realized that, so that was crisis averted there. Crisis averted there. But definitely looking forward. I think out of all those trips, outside of Egypt, like Barbados for me, there's just no place like home. Big thing we got to do when we go to Barbados in the vlog. We had this conversation last December. I don't know if you remember. We got in a debate. Oystins or Baxter's Road.
Oystins or Baxter's Road.
I think you went with Oystins. I had pulled a few friends of mine too. And Oystins did win.
Yeah. But then we had a breakdown. We had for grill or fried.
Right. Yeah.
So then it was a breakdown with the.
And I realized too. I think my preference for fish is fried fish.
It's fried, okay.
I am not a big fan of grilled fish, and I think that's what it was. Right. But I definitely want to do it a little bit more official. We can match it and play it side by side, and
it's probably best. At the same time. That way you got the same state of mind and the same amount of liquor in your you. Because food tastes different if you're sober to drunk.
Yeah.
Big time.
that is.
Those factors would definitely impact the test.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. But so I know it's super late. My eyes are tired. I've been trying to take a nap all day, but this resort it's hard to sit down and so
a lot of things going on.
Yeah, we just come from watching interesting
some sort of South American cabaret type deal.
Yeah. Throw a little bit of Caribbean flavor in there. We see representation of Trinidad. We was hoping to get us. I got a good friend. One of my best friends is Trinidadian. He won't let me live that down,
Palance?
The Palance, is a bit more flamboyant than we've seen Palance done before, but
it was lovely. It was lovely.
It was lovely. It was a beautiful thing to see, But nonetheless, so we're looking forward to exciting vlog we got coming up. I'm gonna put it out there. We can be swimming with some dolphins, some sharks, and some stingrays. I swam with the sharks 2 years ago here, and my biggest regret is
same sharks or
I don't know if they're taking us to the same place, but my biggest regret, like I start putting together a list of things I've done, like top 10 things, and that like sits top 3 for me on that list, and I never recorded it.
Right.
So I always
get some.
I was dedicated to coming back to Punta Cana to swim with them sharks, So I'm super excited about that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So that we'll definitely put that in the vlog channel.
Yeah.
And we will have our 2 lovely co-hosts with us that are fast asleep right now. So, but looking forward to it. So again, this is the pilot. Again, we cover a lot of different topics as we see fit. Right now, we just kind of freestyling.
Yeah.
I didn't even really put together any real agenda. But I think
I look forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. More exciting content to come. But for now,